Party girl, don't get hurt, can't feel anything. When will I learn? I push it down, I push it down. I'm the one for a good time call, phones blowing up, ringing my doorbell. I feel the love, I feel the love. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, drink. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, drink. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, drink. Throw them back till I lose count. I'm gonna swing from the chandelier, the chandelier. I'm gonna live like tomorrow doesn't exist, like it doesn't exist. I'm gonna fly like a bird through the night, feel my tears as they dry. I'm gonna swing from the chandelier. I'm just holding on for dear life. I won't look down, won't open my eyes. Keep my glass filled until morning light. 'Cause I'm just holding on for dear life. Help me, I'm holding on for dear life. I won't look down, won't open my eyes. Keep my glass filled until morning light. 'Cause I'm just holding on for dear life. Help me, I'm holding on for dear life. Won't look down, won't open my eyes. Keep my glass filled until morning light. 'Cause I'm just holding on for dear life. Help me, I'm holding on for dear life. Won't look down, won't open my eyes. Keep my glass filled until morning light.
And when clowns sing, they can do real good, but they don't. So today is going to be all about Russia, Russia, Russia. But more so, it's a reminder that everything you needed was out there already. Everything that needed to be told was already told. So the question is, in this age of information, how did you discern fact from fiction? There's actually 4 rules. Do not assume that bias is synonymous with fake news or fake narratives. Don't say, oh, because they're biased, I can't trust them. That is how you fall for anything. Being biased doesn't mean it's fake. Okay? It could just mean that they're sturdy on it. Another thing is, read past the damn headlines. I know that sounds like something, whoa, but I'm trying to retrain people to learn how to read, because nobody reads past the damn headline, right? Nobody does. Nobody reads past the headline. People want to be spoon-fed information in 5 sentences. This is why Twitter was so effective. Rule number 3, sorry. I said 1 is, just because it's biased doesn't mean it's fake. Rule number 2 is, read. Don't just look at the headlines. Rule number 3, if you get information that confirms your beliefs, right? If you see information, oh yeah, totally confirms my belief, and you don't like information that challenges them, you're set up to just believe anything, okay? You're supposed to be open to hear everything from everyone. The reason everybody is tricked into believing whatever is obviously, first and foremost, titles and tiaras, of course. But it's confirmation bias. You like news that confirm what you believe or you think you believe, okay? And then the last of all, studies. They're not secret, okay? Studies aren't like top secret information, and they should be easy to find, right? Easy to find in your face. So when someone says, oh, well, there's like a secret study, here's what you're going to say. Fuck that. Studies are not supposed to be secret. Studies are supposed to be open to all. So when you hear about studies that go into studies and oh, these people did it, so it's legit, right? Remember what I said last year when they came out with this stupid study of hydroxychloroquine claiming all these things? Well, before everyone else discovered, I told you, damn, they just took over the Bible of medicine. The Bible of medicine published an article that was paid placement. That was horrible. So, having said that and introducing you to those 4 simple notions, I'm going to play a reminder video for you. Millie Weaver, before she put out Shadowgate, she put out a report that's very underviewed, in my opinion. And maybe watching it now, it'll make a little bit more sense as to what she was saying last year in May. See, it's not Gandalf, right? It's not Gandalf, right? Okay. I don't have a beard yet. Hormonally, I think I have that one hair that all women have after they have babies. No beard.
And what could you do to keep your illegal activities in the dark? The answer to this question is the key to draining the swamp. Whistleblowers play a crucial role in protecting the integrity of our government from corruption. The Whistleblower Protection Act was signed into law to strengthen the protections for federal employees who disclose evidence of waste, fraud, and abuse. The various offices of the Inspector General give each branch of government oversight and a venue through which whistleblowers can submit their complaints. Along with the Freedom of Information Act, whistleblowers are sometimes the only line of defense we the people have against the deep state outside of the Second Amendment.
Are these whistleblower laws genuine rights, or are they traps that are designed to convince whistleblowers to expose themselves to the power structure before they make it out to the public?
However, this checks and balance system can be corrupted, creating a venue for leaks, blackmail, and fake whistleblowers, making it impossible to drain the swamp or go after the deep state. If you stacked the deck and made sure that inspector generals were corrupt, you could prevent true whistleblowers and thwart FOIA requests. For instance, Inspector General Atkinson changed the rules for the alleged impeachment whistleblower, allowing the secondhand and tertiary information to count as whistleblowing. Yet, they couldn't change the rules for Patrick Berge or Tory, who as contractors don't have protections.
I couldn't go to anyone because I was a contractor, never in the capacity of an actual government employee, because the operations were clandestine. And so for 20 years, I've always tried to find a way to kind of see how we can hold them accountable. It's not like I could just run to James Comey or run to Clapper or Brennan because they were running point. How do I tell when everyone's implicated?
Think about it. What happened to Michael Hastings? He was a whistleblower.
I can't even go into what it was because it's so explosive.
You're going to see 3 explosions at the very end. Investigators have told me the second and third explosions aren't indicative of a normal car accident. Michael was working on a number of stories, one of which was centered on now CIA Director John Brennan.
Was he able to use proper channels? Or how about Bradley Manning? He was a whistleblower.
Manning was a U.S. intelligence analyst who was court-martialed after stealing thousands of sensitive documents and videos related to the Iraq War and giving it to WikiLeaks, which then published the information on its website.
And we're speaking of Chelsea Manning in past tense here. Was he able to approach watchdogs through the proper chain of command? How about Edward Snowden? He was a whistleblower.
You can't come forward against the world's most powerful intelligence agencies and be completely free from risk.
He justified.
So why am I showing you this? This now that you can hear with ears today will make a lot more sense to you. And as someone just posted, you keep quiet, collect everything, then expose when you have your ducks in a row. I've never played chess, but that's it. Actually, it's not just that. We've had our ducks in a row for a very, very, very long time. And every single time we attempted to bring it out, there was always a smackdown, always a smackdown. So how do you fix that smackdown? How do you buffer that smackdown? Well, it's simple. You get the people to see it. You reach out to the people to understand it. You don't wait for the media that are also running point. You don't wait for the talking heads that are also running point. You don't wait for the other contractors. You don't wait for someone to hold your hand. You wait for the right administration with receptive ears, even if they're blocked, because that administration will empower the people, just like he said, giving power back to the people. And once the people understand and can see the atrocities, that's when you strike. That is when you strike.
Leaking the documents by painting a bleak picture about what could happen if U.S. intelligence agencies continued to collect and store the communications of Americans. The interview was recorded by a filmmaker known to be close to Julian Assange, the creator of WikiLeaks, that published tens of thousands of classified documents online.
Was he able to take his information to the Inspector General? And not to forget Julian Assange. What happened to him? He was an alternative outlet for whistleblowers.
Nearly a decade ago, the organization he founded, WikiLeaks, published a massive tranche of classified US government documents. 7 years later, he was carried out of the Ecuadorian embassy, an undignified end to years of diplomatic house arrest.
See the pattern? Every single one of these and other potential whistleblowers have had to go outside proper channels, outside the government, going around inspector generals in their attempts to whistleblow. Every single one of them was seriously retaliated against by the very corrupt government they were whistleblowing on.
So, Daryl, you've been involved in not only defending yourself, but you've discovered that there are many whistleblowers in the federal government who have been retaliated as well by the inspector generals in the U.S. government.
Their objective is to protect senior responsible management officials from accountability for wrongdoing. It's a protection racket, in effect.
He was part of the whistleblower protection bureaucracy, and Daryl blew the whistle on fraudulent whistleblower protection agency.
Data that we've gathered from Government Accountability Office audits of the Office of Special Counsel. Between 2011 and 2016, there were about 8,000 complaints.
Where was Tom Perez in all this?
Tom Perez was acting like a politician, saying we're going to investigate his charges, and then the investigations turned out to be investigations of Daryl Whitman instead of the abuses of power that betrayed the public.
Yet now, all of a sudden, these Obama holdover inspector generals are supposedly there to protect whistleblowers.
It is time to drain the swamp in Washington, D.C. This is why I'm proposing a package of ethics reforms to make our government honest once again.
It shouldn't be a surprise that President Trump has been fighting an uphill battle trying to drain the swamp.
The metaphor of the Trump issue when he said drain the swamp was that Donald Trump had a private conversation, telephone conversation with the Australian Prime Minister Turnbull. A private conversation. Donald Trump picks up the paper the next day and the details are in the Washington Post.
So that is key. See, when people heard about it, most of you are so desensitized to the corruption that you don't get that, releasing transcripts of an encrypted call, right, of two leaders of nations talking is highly criminal. It is beyond criminal, right? This is a violation of trust. Therefore, leaders will never speak openly and frankly of their issues and their concerns ever again. This is why they did it. They didn't want anyone talking with our president at the time. I want you to pay attention, and we're going to walk through this video that was recorded in April of 2020, published in May of 2020, so you can just see Gandalf with your own eyes. Well, you've been listening.
And he says something wrong with the system here. If I can't speak to an international leader without knowing that somewhere up here there's something in the ceiling that's representing all of that straight out to a media source, then there is something seriously wrong.
But more so, corrupt inspector generals clogged the proper whistleblowing channels while providing fake whistleblowers to go after the president.
You tweeted recently that this whole whistleblower racket needs to be looked at very closely, and it is causing great injustice.
I had a fake whistleblower. Sure. I had a fake whistleblower originally. He was a faker because when he looked at he wrote down a conversation that was totally different from the conversation I actually had. And by the way, the inspector general, he went by the whistleblower. He didn't want to see the conversation that I had. When he saw the conversation that I had, he said, well, that bears no resemblance to what the whistleblower said. Why did he look first before